Hey guys, Jason here. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 acoustic metal riffs that you can practice. So the first acoustic metal riff I'm going to show you, this is just a basic power chord and palm muting riff. So let's dig right in. So all I'm doing is playing the E minor power chord, we're throwing in a G, and we're throwing in an F. Very typical for heavy metal music. So what I'm doing here is I'm hitting that E minor, and I'm palm muting I think like 7 or 8 times. You guys can count that for me and throw that in the comments. I always suck at counting how many times I palm mute. But I'm doing that 7 or 8 times, I think it's 7, and then I go from there to a G. And then I go back to the E minor twice, and then we hit the F. Now when I play that F chord, I kind of go back and forth on the F, then I palm mute the E, and then back to the F. So it sounds like this. The second acoustic metal riff I want to show you is a galloping metal riff. Now, galloping is kind of a technique used in metal. I'm sure it's got a fancy name. I don't know what that is, so we're going to stick with galloping. So anyway, here's the riff. Now, number 2 is very similar to number 1 there, but again, we're using this galloping technique, and I guess it's kind of like a triplet. So you're palm muting, and we're palm muting the E minor chord here, and we're only really picking that first string, you know, the 0 fret, which means no fret. So we're picking back and forth like really fast 3 times to it's kind of like horses or bulls coming up behind you, and the bull's gonna, like, you know, stab you in the arse with his horn, which is not very cool. Anyway, that's what galloping is. So again, here's the riff. And the chords there is just the G power chord. Now you'll notice a really cool chord that sounds like this, which I love that type of chord. I know there's a fancy name for that one too. I think it's like a 6th note in there or something like that. So that chord is similar to the G. You're gonna keep that 2nd string 5th fret note, but instead of playing the root note, that first note is gonna be the 1st string 2nd fret. And then put that together. Alright, now for the third acoustic metal riff I want to show you, and we're actually getting into the metal riffs. You know, we just went over some power chords, we did the galloping metal style riffs, and we also did some palm muting. So those are all techniques that are like the foundation of metal music, but now we're starting to merge into what I consider one of the most important aspects of heavy metal music, and that's the riffage, or riffing. Riffage sounds cool. I think I just made that up. Anyway, here's the riff. So we're still on the first 2 strings here, and I'm keeping this one simple. Don't worry, fret not, bad pun, because the next, number 4, we're going to get into a little bit more complexity with our riffs. So let's learn this one first. So I'm on the E string here, and I'm hitting the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, then going to the 2nd string, 2nd fret. So here's the notes. Then I'm just taking that back the other way. And I'm palm muting. That's number 3. Alright, now for the 4th acoustic metal riff. We're basically going to take what we just learned on number 3, and we're going to add a little bit more complexity to it. This is going to be a cool riff, so here we go. Now there's a little bit more finger action going on here. So we're doing the first part of what we just learned. And that very first part kind of stays, that kind of remains the same throughout this riff. That's kind of your little foundation there. You're going to be doing that a lot. And it's that 1, 2, 3, 4th note that's going to be different each time. So again, we're going on the first string, 0, 2, 3, second string, 2nd fret, 2. Then back down. The second time around, we're going again 0, 2, 3 on the first string. Then we're going to hit the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Then back down. Next, we're going to be hitting the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Now the challenge with that little piece is you're almost barring that, so you got to be careful. You know, you're coming off of the 3rd fret on the 1st string to hit the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, so be careful you don't do this. You don't want to hit those at the same time. Not in this particular riff anyway. So you kind of have to roll that finger off of that 1st string to hit that next string, the 3rd fret. And then the last part of that, there's a 4th piece of this, is we're going to hit the 5th fret on the 1st string. All right, let's play that together. 1, 2, 3. Started to get bright out here. I may have to take a dip in the pool soon. Okay, now it's time for our 5th and final acoustic metal riff. I forgot what that was. Now it's time for the 5th and final acoustic metal riff in this video. Now, we're gonna kind of combine everything that we've just learned into this, and this is kind of getting into more of the death metal style music. So I'm gonna play this for you, then we'll break it down. Yes, I love it. Oh, death metal. Anyway, so it's more like along the lines of melodic death metal. So we're hanging on the E minor again here, and we're galloping those first few notes. So remember, that galloping is just that triplet movement, that real fast, 1, 2, 3. Now, the riffage part, and this is where we get into that death metal style of playing. We're alternate picking here. And we're riffing on the 1st string, and the frets that we're hitting are 8, 7, and 5. Now sometimes when I'm playing fast like that, I'll play it open, but sometimes I'll palm mute it, or I might lightly palm mute it, if that makes sense. That gives you a little bit different feel, and it kind of keeps that rhythm really, really tight. So that one's kind of hard to explain. It's one of those things you just really have to feel. So. See, I'm not all the way palm muting, I'm just kind of, backing on and off a little bit. So that's that first part. Is the frets are 8, 7, and 5. And then back to 7. And that second part is, so the frets are going to be on the 1st string 5, 3, 2, and then back to 3. One more time. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed learning those 5 acoustic metal riffs. It's very hot out here. We'll take a quick swig. By the way, you guys are probably wondering, what's Jason drinking today? I am drinking a Singha, the beer from Thailand, one of my favorite lagers. But anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed the acoustic metal riffs I just showed you. One thing I'll say, and I say this pretty much on every video, learn what I'm teaching you, but feel free to expand on those. Actually, I encourage you to expand on those. Like when you learn one of the riffs, add your own notes after that. Do those riffs on different parts of the fretboard, whatever. Just expand on those, because that's how you become not only a better guitar player, but a better musician and songwriter. And by the way, if you click on the description of this video, I've got the times where each of the 5 lessons start. So it's a good reference point. Just click on the description and then look at the times, and you can go back and to each one of those lessons there. And also, of course, I've got a link to my music, jasonstallworth.com. Go to my website there, and you can listen to my music through that site on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, all those good places. So again, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comments section. And if this helped you, of course, like and share my video with the world. That would be appreciated. Until next time, keep it metal.